Alright, hello Guild Wars 2 gamers, Mukluk here. Today is, not July anymore, August 5th. It is Tuesday, August 5th, and we've got a little bit of Guild Wars 2 news. Wasn't thinking I was going to be doing a news video today, but there is a couple of items and some really cool teasers for the upcoming expansion that I think, if you put it all together, it's worth a video. So, let's knock this out real quick. So, first off, on behalf of Queen Jenna of Kryda and the Captain's Council of Lions Arch, blah, 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 the next holiday has come back. We've got the Festival of the Four Winds, which is once again returning to Guild Wars 2. If you do not know how to access it, there are two main ways of entry. One is the Crown Pavilion, which I just realized I cannot access my world map right now. So I'm going to load out of here real quick. But one is in Divinity's Reach, the human capital city. On the western side of the city, there is a thing called the Crown Pavilion, which has got a very large circle on the map, which I am hoping that this loading screen is going to finish so I can show you. Okay, here we go. So, Divinity's Reach, right here, Crown Pavilion. You can talk to someone there to teleport down, or you could just literally leap in like a psychopath and you'll fall down to the bottom, which is where I was, and there is a whole bunch of events. Additionally, there are hot air balloons that will take you over here to the Zephyrite area, where you can do a bunch of the other holiday events. So that is how you access it if you're one of the noobs. Additionally, on MuklukLabs.com, we've got pinned to the top the Get to the Point Festival of the Four Winds guide if you are new and you need help on figuring out what what and how to do the stuff there. We got some new achievements. Complete the annual Four Winds Customs meta achievement to earn the Cloud Cuirass, a new chest piece armor, and demonstrate your might in the Crown's Pavilion feats of strength. So, Cloud Cuirass, I will try to show each of these items really quickly here. Let me blast over to the bank. Go to weights, Cloud. So here's the Cloud Cuirass. My shoulder pad's blocking a little, but you see it's a chest piece. It does not have sleeves, doesn't have like a neck area, but there is kind of like some fluff around the neck, but instead of being like, like a lion's mane or something, it looks like it's made of cloud. Like there's like some wisps of stuff there. It doesn't show up very well on my character just because of Asura plus the shoulder pads, but it might be much more noticeable on something like a Norn or a Char. Next up, last year's meta achievement, the Beach Trunks, which just look like a men's swimsuit, can now be purchased from the festival rewards vendors. A new Leviathan bone weapon set is available. You receive your choice of a weapon by progressing the annual Four Winds Customs meta achievement and the weekly Four Winds Festivities achievement. So, Leviathan bone weapons. Let's go to weapon skins in the dressing room, search Leviathan, and there's one in here I really, really like. I'll show you in just a second. So, we got the sword, we got the hammer, we got the longbow made out of spine, short bow, which is possibly ribs, bone axe, which is that right there, dagger, a great sword, a mace, and I don't know if that's eyeballs, that kind of freaks me out, a pistol, a rifle, a scepter, got like a hip joint there or something, staff, focus, which kind of looks like a little claw thing, torch, is that right there, warhorn, and shield, which is my personal favorite of this set because of how you hold it. It looks like a gigantic claw weapon. Look at that thing. Never before have I wanted so badly to dual wield shields. This looks fantastic. So that is the shield. I love this one. I really, really do. So that is the Leviathan shield. And then we got one more thing, that is the spear, which looks very, very similar to the staff, but not identical. So that's that right there. And back to the news. Last year's Sandswept weapon set can now be acquired from the weekly festival vendor. I'm just making up new words. The contents of the Zephyrite supply boxes have been updated, including 3 new weapons crafted by a traveling weaponsmith. I don't have a Zephyrite supply box on me, so I can't show you that right this second. The new mini Garenhof Kunkat is available from festival reward vendors in the Labyrinthine Cliffs and Crown Pavilion. Garenhof Kunkat. Just a second. Let's see. Miniatures. There it is. Okay, there we go. Oh, wait, hold on. I can enhance. Enhance. Behold. The Garenhof Kunkat. Fantastic. That's it. The pose, the presence, the power, them paws. All right, now you know what that looks like. Def Lahar is visiting the Labyrinthine Cliffs for the festival and has a variety of homestead-tailored recipes for your festival, your favorite festival of the Four Winds decorations. New guild and homestead decorations have been added. Lightning Aspect Crystal, Sun Aspect Crystal, Wind Aspect Crystal, Zephyrite Display Stand, and Seed Turtle Rental. I don't know why you would need to rent a Seed Turtle in a homestead. Like, even if you got a race in there, is it going to be a turtle race? But it's there. It's there if you want it. A new annual achievement for participating in the Labyrinthine Skiffs race course has been added. Annual achievements for race events and adventure participation have been standardized to give extra credit for completing their event versions. Added a tracking event that displays the time until the treasure hunt and other map-wide events start in Labyrinthine Cliffs. The preparation timer before the treasure hunt begins has been lowered since the time until it begins is now more visible ahead of the start time. The Boss Blitz meta event now displays the health of all bosses in the Crown Pavilion to allow easier coordination. So once again, that is in the Crown Pavilion that we were talking about just a minute ago. If you've never, ever done Festival of Four Winds before, when you're down there in the lower area, there is different sections, and bosses will spawn in all of them. And when you kill one boss, all of the others get the dead boss's abilities. So the last one you kill is the most buffed, but it's nothing too bad. Usually just a big horde of people just go around it and take them all out. And this is just a little change to that. Updated trade prices at the Bazaar of the Four Winds. Special objectives are available in the Wizard's Vault to earn extra astral acclaim as you enjoy the festival. So showcasing that real fast, we've got for 300 points, complete the annual Four Winds Customs achievement. For 100 points, complete the annual Commodities Trader achievement. For 100 points, complete the annual Bundle Plunderer achievement. And for 100 points, complete the annual Boss Blitz achievement. So there's 600 points there from the festival if there's anything that costs AA that you've got your eye on. Various issues have been fixed to ensure a safer and more pleasant festival for all participants. And the Festival of the Four Winds will be available for 3 weeks from August 5th to August 26th to enjoy the festivities. And then updated the Blackline chest to offer the guaranteed Nashblade Zephyrite supply box. And we looked at the Black Lion chest earlier. I believe, yeah, none of the crazy rewards here have changed since the last time. They've just changed the guaranteed box up there, so nothing different there. Okay, so that is it for the festival stuff. And for some of you, the much more exciting thing, Revenant is getting Drubert. You're all going to be fish. And basically, you ask people for money, and if they don't give you money, you get really buff and mad. And that's a lie. That's just something for fun. Okay, so we got this teaser today. Two elite spec names, yeah, I got dyslexia, and 2 professions are still on the table. Conduit and Amalgam. This is the first time that they have shown these names. Revenant and Engineer, what's your final guess? So, I've got some scribbles. These are all the thoughts I had after reading that, along with a couple thoughts for some other people. I'm going to share these with you, and you can tell me how wrong I am. So, Elementalist is getting Evoker. We know that. We've already seen that in a video already. It was a little teaser, so we're getting that tomorrow. Elementalist is Evoker, and they've got a little Firefox thing floating above them. Okay, so the big question here is who gets who gets Conduit and who gets Amalgam between Engineer and Revenant? And I've thought of some silly reasons for both of them, and I'm just going to share that with you now, and you can tell me what you think. Revenant. Let's pretend that Revenant is getting Conduit. You could become a literal conduit for a spirit, which honestly is not that different from channeling them the way that they do right now. Maybe it's something stronger than channeling a legend in some way. Perhaps becoming a conduit, you cannot legend swap anymore, and you entirely devote yourself to a single legend, but it becomes much more powerful. If they were to do something like this, the legend swap button would have to still be there and still do something, because pressing that button triggers a lot of their traits. So they could have, like, F4 is steroids or something, and then they press that, and then, that triggers all of the trait swap things. But it's possible. It could be a thing. What if Revenant gets Amalgam? Well, an amalgam of spirits makes me think of Lextalion or Gorseval. For anyone who is new blood in the game, let me see if I can pull this up. There is a creature in the game called Gorseval, and then they've only used the model for this creature in 2 places. One is the raid boss Gorseval, and the other is a meta boss named Lextalion, which was just added at the end of Janthier Wilds. And as you see, it's got many, many body parts. There's many, like, jaws, many tongues, spines becoming tentacles. And basically, it's a fusion of a whole ton of spirits that did not end their life in a very nice way. And they were all, like, forced together into this creature. Maybe the amalgam, maybe this, like, spooky-looking face here is the amalgam for the Revenant. And they are going to channel many different smaller, like, less notable spirits at the same time and just become a monstrosity. You know, like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Maybe they're just going to, like, roid out with the power of, like, many, many smaller spirits and just, you know, be just a We Are Legion. That could be really cool. Don't know if they're doing that. Could be really neat, though. One thought that came from a viewer said that what if the amalgam combines 2 legends at once in the way that Weaver can combine 2 elements? Maybe. I thought that was an above 1% chance, so I wrote it down. It could be a thing. Maybe you're 1 and 2 are for one legend, you're 4 and 5 for another, and the 3 is a combination attack or something. Not sure. So those are my thoughts and the thoughts of some folks in chat on what if Revenant got these things. Going on to the next one. Engineer. What if Engineer is the one getting Conduit? Well, Conduit for Engineer makes me think electric-based attacks, similar to the Janthier Spear. Lots of burning applications or direct power damage via lightning. Maybe your gadgets are things like you deploy a small Tesla coil and it just starts zapping everything nearby for a timer. Not a whole lot to say about this one. I mean, you can have like a direct lightning bolt, you can have chain lightning, have it bounce to additional targets, have it apply like burning, so it's condition-based, you know. It mostly makes me think of like direct damage electric attacks. I don't know for sure that that's what's happening, but you know, these are just, you know, thoughts that entered my head. And lastly, what if Engineer became Amalgam? If you Google Amalgam, it says an alloy made of mercury and another metal, especially used for dental fillings. So, assuming that Engineer's not going to become dentist, which after the Antiquary, friggin' the ball's in the air, who knows? Assuming they're not becoming dentists here, maybe it's just something with liquid metal. So it's like, yeah, this could, over here, this could be like a ball of mercury with other strips of metal orbiting around it, and you do something with liquid metal. What would that be? When I think of like a liquid metal class, first thing I think of is like the guy from Terminator 2 that was made of liquid metal, and he would transform it into anything he needed. But that's really close to Hollow Forge. Hollow Forge just makes whatever they need out of light. And it would just be like a different way of getting the same effect. You use your imagination, you made a thing. So they could make it really cool, right? There is one weapon in the game that really, really does a lot with liquid metal, and that is the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut is a hammer in the game. You know what? I can actually show it. Hold on. I'll have to mess up my fashion for a second. Wow! That's a big sky scale. Hold on a sec. You need to calm down. Okay, so let me go to wardrobe here for a second and go to this and summon the jug and apply. Okay, so we got the Juggernaut right here. When you unsheath it, liquid metal covers your body and starts pooling at your feet, okay? So you can see it just like leaves these puddles that splash. And also, whenever you do different attacks with it, you leave behind like streams of liquid metal and you can see them. So they've already got some stuff in the game already like rendered and ready for liquid metal special effects. So like this is already there. Now, I'm not saying that I encourage them to reuse the legendary Juggernaut's effects on this possibility of an elite spec, but I'm saying they're already capable of making liquid metal graphics. They could do something like that. Maybe. The question would just be, how creative would they be with it, right? Like, if you've got this thing that, you know, it's like your imagination is the limit. It can morph into anything. What are they going to make? Claws, small catapults, a trebuchet. Like, what are they going to do with this thing? I'm guessing that instruments with a lot of detail would kind of be off the table. Things like, you know, firearms and computers and stuff like that. But if you could just transform it into any simple thing, I think that would be really similar to Hollow Forge. But again, guitars. Yeah, yeah, they're going to make guitars. Yeah, you know what? Revenant is going to channel a musician. They're getting a guitar. And then Engineer is going to use liquid metal, and they're going to make guitars. Everyone gets a guitar. That's it. It's done. Case closed. That's the whole video. Everybody gets a guitar. Yeah, Metal Legion. That's the whole expansion. Anyway, did I exhaust my list? I think I did. Okay, that's all I've got right now. Those are all the thoughts that entered my head when I read the words of this tweet, and I'm sharing them with you. So, my question is, what do you think? Do you think Rev's getting the conduit or the amalgam? And do you think Engineer's getting the conduit or the amalgam? Do you think I'm right on any of my guesses, or do you think I'm way off and you've got a guess that's just way, way better? So that's it for now. The festival is open. I got a guide if you need it. That'll be pinned in the description if you need it. But otherwise, we'll find out more about this stuff tomorrow. Wednesday, we're getting the blog post with all the additional information on these two, as well as the evoker. And then Friday, excuse me, hiccup. On Friday, we're getting the Twitch stream that is going to have lots and lots of more depth of information. And then late Friday, I'll have a video out on that. But that's it. That's all I got for now. If you got any questions, problems, thoughts, concerns, put them in the comment section down below, and I will fight you there.